Hello there, this is Ape Nate. Today we're playing Dread, and this is a pretty different video than usual. We're going to be comparing all the assault rifles, so that you know what their strengths and weaknesses are, and what situations you should be using them in. So anyway, let's get started. Let's start off with the AK47. This is a very strong assault rifle. It has the highest damage out of all the assault rifles with 34 torso and 46 head. It's also the cheapest at 18,000 Dread dollars and the lowest ranked at Silver Trainee. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of cool because a lot of the time this gun is like the best assault rifle, just because most of the combat in Dread is in short to medium range, which is where this gun excels. This is the M16A1, and it's pretty accurate, you know. It's one of the most accurate assault rifles, probably second to the SCARL, but I'm not entirely sure. And I love using this gun, and it's really comfortable to use just because it's so accurate, but then it's just, from like a practical point of view, it's just really not that good because the ammo is so low. It has 20 rounds in the magazine and 60 in reserve. And compared to the 30 rounds in the magazine and 90 in reserve of all the other assault rifles. And then if you also account for the low damage of this gun, or it isn't that low, but it is a little bit lower than the other assault rifles generally. It just doesn't make it like a very good choice. It is pretty inexpensive, like it's a bit more expensive than the AK47, but then the AK47 can just like beat it in so many situations, so can't really recommend this one too much, but I do love to use it, and it is very comfortable to use. Yeah, when I use this, I always just like run out of ammo. It is pretty good at like medium range and long range a little bit, just because it has low damage to start off with, like pretty low, but then damage range is really good. So if you want to take out zombies from like across the map, it'll still do pretty decent damage. Like those zombies are pretty far away. This is the M4 carbine. Now this is a very good gun. This is probably my favorite assault rifle to use, honestly. It has the fastest fire rate out of the assault rifles. Now the AK-47 does beat this in a lot of close range scenarios, but this gun has a really good damage range, pretty similar to the M16A1. And speaking of the M16A1, this gun is pretty much a better version of that, so if you like using the M16A1, you should definitely get this gun too. It does cost a bit more, like 7,000 Dread dollars more than the M16A1 at 30,000 Dread dollars, and it's unlocked a little bit later at Silver 3. But you can tell why it's This gun is really good at like medium range. If I can hit, there we go. The damage is a bit higher than the M16A1, quite a bit lower than the AK-47, but still pretty good. And it is on par with the assault rifles, so if I can grab some ammo. This gun has a pretty fast reload. I want to say it's the fastest out of the assault rifles, and it definitely feels like it is, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so. Also, if you're liking the video so far, make sure to subscribe, and if you're liking the video, then, you know, like the video. This gun is not too good against riot zombies, but there are only a few guns in the game that are actually like really good against riot zombies, so that's not too much of a, it doesn't put it under the par or anything. this is a SCARL. So the SCARL is a pretty interesting assault rifle. It's the most expensive assault rifle at 45,000 red dollars actually. And it's also the highest ranking assault rifle at rank like gold 3. You may be wondering why, and I sort of have an answer for that. It's not completely definite, but you know. So this assault rifle, the idea behind it is sort of to be like a long-range weapon. A gun that's good at long range without sacrificing short-range effectiveness as much as the other long-range guns, like you've seen them. The AWP and the SCAR-H are good examples of that. So if we compare this gun to the M4 carbine, we have a gun that shoots slower than the M16A1, which is also slower than the M4 carbine. It shoots faster than the AK47. I guess we're actually comparing it to like all the other assault rifles too. Why not? It does. I guess we're going to be mostly comparing it to the M4 carbine though. So anyway, the M4 carbine does 26 damage to the torso, while this does 28 damage to the torso, which is a pretty good trade-off because this also does 38 damage to the head instead of 40, which is a pretty good trade-off. You do want more damage. You don't want to value torso damage over headshot damage, because that's probably, no offense, but that's probably what you and I are going to be hitting more, torso shots. And also riot zombies, you can't headshot them. That might be coming in the future, but so far you can't. This gun is just about as good as the M4 carbine at taking out riot zombies. It's like the M4 carbine has a lot higher fire rate, which does help quite a bit. But this gun has a lot lower vertical recoil and also higher torso damage. It's still not very good at it. Like the AA-12 or the minigun are like years ahead of it in that sense, but also riot zombies are just really powerful. So. Another thing that you have to keep in mind while using this gun is that it does buff the health of the zombies a lot, just because it's a high-ranking gun. So if you're using it in multiplayer, you won't notice it as much, because it uses the same system, but if you're the only person using it, like in the server, or if you're in single player, then well, you're gonna notice it a lot more if you're switching from like, I don't know, an SMG or something, or any of the other assault rifles. So it's just something to keep in mind. This gun actually has the lowest vertical recoil out of all the assault rifles. The horizontal recoil is still very low, but it's just it has a bit more horizontal recoil than the M4 carbine. So vertical recoil is how high up the bullets go when you shoot, and horizontal recoil is how much they go side to side. So it's pretty good, I guess. I wouldn't use it over the AK47 or M4 carbine for most scenarios, but it does hold up really well. It's still a very strong gun. If we compare the recoil of the assault rifles side by side, we can see that the AK-47 has most of both recoils. The M4 carbine has pretty low vertical recoil and pretty low horizontal recoil. M16A1 has pretty low horizontal recoil but pretty high vertical recoil. And the SCARL has a bit of horizontal recoil but not very much vertical recoil at all. So in conclusion, the AK-47 should be your go-to, with the M4 carbine as your second choice for more open maps. Anyway, if you liked the video, make sure to do the thing. Also, if you have any video suggestions, make sure to tell me in the comments, or if you want me to play a game of any type. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.